Have your seat, comrades. My respected elders, young people, children, community leaders, residents, all. I'm very pleased to be here this afternoon as we speak to you not only on the development of our country, but as we listen to you. Part of what we do as a government is to listen to you, listen to your ideas, interact with you, so that when we finalize the plan for the next 5 years, those plans will will reflect your priorities. They will reflect what are the important things for you. They will reflect what are the things that you see are essential for your community development. And when I was in Canal No. 2 earlier this week, the farmers at a few communities raised some issues. And we have NARI here and other agencies. And I expected them to go and fix those problems. So by tomorrow, they should have a report to me on how those problems were fixed. So we are here not only to fix and to tell you about what we have done, but importantly, to listen, to understand, to spend quality time on the ground. We don't come and just make a speech and go away. We spend quality time because we want to understand your perspective. We want to understand what are the things that we can do that will create the greatest impact, positive impact on your lives. Because that is important. And let me give you a few examples. Only this morning, I announced a specific measure for NIS pensioners. NIS pensioners who did not meet the contribution but contributed between 500 to 749 contributions. More than 25,000 such pensioners were first of all running maybe every 3 months to NIS to see what they can receive, to see if they can get anything for the years they would have contributed, but still did not make the contribution. And we listened across the country, and we understood that this was a priority, and we needed to find a formula that would help us to make a difference for these pensioners, tens of thousands of NIS pensioners. And today, I was pleased to announce an initiative that will see $10 billion transferred to the pockets of those pensioners. That is caring. That is listening. That is responding. And that is what a government must be. Responsive, caring, a government that listens, a government that understands. So whilst we could have sat back in our offices and be happy that we have already accomplished everything we said we'll do in the manifesto, and did so with 2 years of COVID, we said no. Let us push the agenda forward. Let us push the agenda even greater. There is no way in the manifesto you will see we said that we will transfer an additional $700+ million to children writing CXC. Tens of thousands of children will now benefit from the full payment of 8 subjects, every single child. And not commencing next year, commencing now, as your children are preparing to pay for their examination. But that is not all. when we said we'll give access to universal secondary education, we understood that children also are technically inclined. And whilst we did this, we also invested in technical education to support those children who are technically inclined, because they will have an important and key and critical role to play in our society. And as Priya said, we are now going beyond secondary education. We are now going towards integrating technical education, digital education. Today, we have gone to the extent that the ministry is giving out digital boxes to ensure your children are continuously in a learning environment, to use the best technology available to give your children the best opportunity possible. Opportunities that you did not have, I did not have. Your kids, every child, have the same opportunity under the People's Progressive Party civic government. But more importantly is the economy that we are building. You know, in this community, one of the big issues that you are faced with is that when the sugar industry took a hit, you had no capital investment to go back in your private cane farming. Am I not right? The investment you made in preparing your land, you lost that investment. You lost the investment you made in those private farms that supplied cane for sugar here in Region 3. We now have to find a formula. And right now I've asked the Ministry of Agriculture, I've asked Guy Suku to come to me with a plan through which we can help the farmers to prepare back their land so they can get back into private cane farming. And in getting back to private cane farming, we have to ensure that we build a sector in which they are paid a fair price for their cane so that they can be successful. That is what we're working on. When we talk about building out opportunity at the community level, and when I come to Region 3, every single community we go to, we can talk about the plans we have for that area. We can talk about the development we've already achieved in that area. I don't need to tell you about gas to shore, the industrial development, the thousands of jobs that will be created in this region because of the investment that is taking place. I can tell you directly how we're going to develop a localized economic strategy. I call it grassnomics. The grassroots economics, grassnomics. How we will develop a grassroots economic model that will ensure you at a community level, you at this level, that you are successful also. And that is what is important. Embracing a vision that ensures success. So for example, we started a program to support our farmers. And Priya said something that we must not take for granted. Between 2015 and 2020, you had floods. How many extension officers came to you? How many visits you had from a minister or DNI? One of the first things when we came into office was not only COVID, we had to deal with 2 major floods. And here in the Canal Polders and different areas on the West Bank, you were affected. And what did we do? We did not just invest in the DNI. We worked on giving farmers hours to help them prepare their land to be resilient and sustainable. And there are 360 plus farmers who are on the waiting list to have their 8 hours of machine work. And I want to assure you that you will get that 8 hours very shortly. Those farmers on the waiting list. Further, within the next 4 to 6 weeks, this NDC will have their own excavator so that they will have their own machine available 24/7 to support you. And we have asked this NDC, we are giving this NDC one of the modern firefighting vehicle. Most modern firefighting vehicle. We are waiting for you guys to develop the voluntary fire brigade so that we can have your NDC also having capacity to help you in times of disaster. And you know, if one would have said to you that we will be today in an environment in which a constable is working more, in some cases, more is constable that is starting today. Their starting salary is more than a starting salary of a teller in some banks. Think about it. If 5 years ago somebody would have told you that. If 5 years ago somebody would have told you that we want nurses and we're going to pay your children whilst we train them to be nurses. We give them a monthly stipend whilst we're training them to be nurses. And today, when they complete the nursing program, they have a starting salary of about $170,000. And today, as much nurses as we can get from these areas, all those who want to be nurses, nursing aid, and you have the three minimum subject, we are ready to take you in, to train you, and to help you to become nurses. Teachers, the same thing with our teachers. The adjustment in their salaries. When you look at what we have done and the plans that we have, you know, Bakersville, for example, one of the main issues in Bakersville is the irrigation of the land. Isn't that true? We now have to find, and I've asked the NDIA to come up with a plan to meet with the residents in Bakersville in a new week and come up with a plan through which we can give them the irrigation services to support their agricultural aspirations. Already in the program, and I want to say this, the ground, are the footballers here that play on the ground next door? Where are the footballers? You're at the back? I see some hands waving at the back. So the footballers, come closer. And I want to tell you how we work. I just got a message that the footballers need some support. A message I got. I called and I found out what support these young men need. What support the footballers need. And I was told, tell me if I'm going wrong, that you need some washroom facility. That you need a pavilion for the people to sit on. That those were your immediate needs. Well, I have news. We have your we're not only going to give you the washroom and the small pavilion, we're going to give you lights on that ground so that you can train in the evening. We're going to fix up that ground for you. We're going to give you the gears. Because we want to support these developments. And the grounds that are in these communities, I don't know if it's here, but I asked that one of the driving tractors be sent to Canal No. 1 to maintain the grounds in the community. The football ground, the cricket ground, the little parapets, the school ground. And that is already supposed to be here. Is it here? is here. So you will have that permanently in your community. These are the things that we worry about. These are the things that keep us up in the night. This little young lady who is getting up here now to go home, she's not going home, but I want to say to her publicly how very special I feel and what a lovely child she is. I didn't even remember. Some time ago, she and her mom came. And I didn't know that I made a positive impact. But she took the time, very rare. Maybe this is one or two letters I received like this. She wrote a letter and she waited for me. A letter just to say, thank you, and what a difference it has made. And I want to recognize you, young lady, that this choice of yours to do this, to show gratitude, tells a lot about your upbringing, about your mother, and tells a lot about you as an individual. And we are going to make sure that you and your future, like every other child in this country, is one in which you're given all the tools to be successful in your life. Thank you. So, and these are the stories. How we work with the community. How do we work with groups, with everyone, to ensure that we create an inclusive mechanism, a mechanism through which everyone is part of this development. Thank you. We also have the burial ground road at Jakova. At Jakova, the burial ground road. That is another priority that you would have raised, right? That is another major issue that bothers you as a community. And I've asked Indar to look at this, to see we are starting it. And not only not only did he look at it, but works will be commencing or would have commenced already. So that is how we work. We don't wait. We listen to your constant feedback. We listen to the things that people may consider small that bothers you. We want to work with this community, the women of Canal No. 1. Whether it's at Cameron Dam or we find some place or, as I've said to the Ministry of Agriculture, we want to identify 100 women in this Canal Bakersville area. And we want to help you to put a shade house in your yard so you can produce, so that you can plant celery that goes to the market. We want to empower 100 families by empowering 100 women. Because when you empower women, you're empowering the entire community. This is what we're about. We want to find young people in this Canal Polder, in this area, in this NDC. We want to find young people who want to be interested in aquaculture, cage farming, so that we can do the tambaki and other fish that can work in the cage farming. And if we have that group ready, we will give you the cages, we'll invest in you, we will give you the startup and those cages to produce the fish. So I challenge you to get together. Come to us with a plan. Let us work together. Let us work together to create opportunities. And I'm just talking about this area, looking at the potential of this area and what we can do. Already we said in this NDC, we have to invest in a processing facility, in a packing facility, in a cold storage facility, so we can extend the life of your crop. If you're able to take, this last crop of tangerine, we have massive amount of tangerine on the market. I called the local producers of juices. That's the box juice. I said, why can't we use it? For a matter of fact, I put in the article some of them. Why we can't use this tangerine? They're telling me some story about the type of tangerine. So we will have to invest in small community infrastructure that allows us to process that tangerine, allows us to make the juice from that tangerine and create a market that will support you to add value. We want to work with you to find ways in which we can add value. Add value to the plantains that come out of here, the pineapple, the pear. We must not only sell the plantain. Look, when we sell the plantain, very good, because we need that on the local market, fresh too. But then, if you look at, as income increases, look at the spending and buying pattern of Guyanese. Even those of you who are selling plantain and planting plantain, I assure you, I must just buy 2 or 3 packs of plantain and bring it in the house. The ones in the package in the supermarket. If we be honest ourselves, when we go cricket, what is called them? What is the plantain name? I don't need the local plantain, so you know the one name. Whatever the name. We have to invest, and this is one of the things that we will do. In the next budget, we are going to set aside resources for micro enterprises so that the people in Bagotsville or the people in Canal or the people low down Canal will come together and say, we want to take all our plantain or all our pineapple and we want to put it in tin. We want to put it in tins, fresh, organic pineapple packaged to go to some other market. We want to support. That is what the next budget will focus on. Creating micro enterprises. We have to find thousands of your children who will be willing to become nurses, who will be willing to be trained. We can't find them right now. We have an upskilling program for 2,000 young people. We can't find people. It's being advertised publicly. We'll have to find hundreds of new constables. The starting salary is completely different. And you now have a structured career in the police force. Because if you have an unblemished record, you know that after 22 years, at a minimum, you will retire with a pension of an inspector, rather than today working for 22 years and sometime retiring still as a constable. You know that there's a clear career path. And you know that all it takes is for you to be disciplined, for you to do what is right, and you will be retiring in dignity. That is what we're about. Those are the changes that are necessary as we embrace this future. Not only are we building the new Western Regional Hospital, but we will have programs here at home, when from your cell phone in the next year and a half, you will be able to schedule your appointment at your clinic. You will be able to know whether your medication is ready at the clinic. So you don't have to go and wait for 3 hours. You will make your appointment and you can leave in time for your appointment so you don't have to waste productive time. We will be here in less than a year, when with your phone or any device, the farmer can pay for all of their chemical and fertilizer in Georgetown, sitting at home or in your field, and your kid or your child coming home from work will pick it up and bring it. Reducing your costs, increasing efficiency. This is the future we are building. A digital future. One in which the miner going to guns or anyone working in guns can stay there with connectivity and make a payment of their bill here in Georgetown without moving in seconds. That is the future we're talking about. A future in which you don't have to go to the police station or GRA to renew your driver's license. You will walk to something like an ATM machine, a kiosk. You'll put your license in and you'll renew your license right there. That is the future we're talking about. A future in which we are building the best infrastructure. But building the best infrastructure all around the world, when they build these great infrastructure, you have new costs. We are building and giving you a new 4-lane bridge and removing all the costs from you. These things matter. These things are important when you think about your future. Your children now having access to free education. Today at Cabinet, I asked Indar, Ejil, Priya, and Ashni to work with Nations University. You know, to do what? To ensure that those persons who are studying in the maritime field and they get this certificate from Honduras or anywhere, they just need that added certification from the UK now because of the flag carrying status of the boats, of the ships. We're going to invest in that to give them that additional certification so that they can get higher paying jobs, and we will create more than 1,000 new jobs in the maritime sector. And we're going to pay and invest in that certification. But what is our biggest problem? We have to get people also to make use of these opportunities. You have an equal stake. You have an equal responsibility to reach for the opportunities. You have to be serious about life too. You have to want to be better and do better. Sometimes you go to meetings and you hear, "Me not got a house lot yet. Did you apply?" No. The future requires all of us to be responsible, all of us to be committed. And that is why when we in the People's Progressive Party comes with a message, that message is clear. That message you can trust. One of the important things when making decisions about your future is asking yourselves a question. Can I trust this person with my future? Can I trust this party with my children's future? Can I trust this party for the rice farmers? Can I trust this party for the sugar workers? Can I trust this party for the public servants? Can I trust this party with my family? Can I trust this party with my community? Can I trust this party with my country? And we have demonstrated to you that every time you put your X and support us and give us that chance to lead, we have never betrayed your trust. We have delivered every single time to you. And that is important. Examine what was promised to you. Examine what was delivered to you. Because I don't agree with many people. Many commentators say elections is a season of promises. Yes, Uncle, in the front seat. Many people would say that elections is a season of promises. For us in the PPP Civic, elections are not about a season of promises. Election is a renewal of hope. It's a renewal of commitment. It's a renewal of the contract. It's a renewal of our responsibility. It is a renewal of dignity. It's a renewal of our responsibility to the people. That is what elections are about. That is why we take seriously, not the promises, we take seriously the commitment we make to people. We evaluate each one of the idea. We evaluate each one of the commitment. And unless we are sure that we can deliver on that commitment, we will never tell you we will do it. That is why, when you look in the manifesto, we have delivered on every single one of our commitment to you. This is what we are about. And there is no way we will enjoy the beauty of Guyana, the development, the progress, and the prosperity if we don't do it together. There is no other choice for us in this country but to march forward together, stronger, united, for each other, lifting each other up. We will end this sore and scar that a few in the political landscape hope will never end, because that is their only tool at elections. The only tool is division and race. We're going to end it. We're going to, together, we're going to trample on it. We are going to get that lazy rabbit out of the field. It will require our individual and collective energy. It would require us shouting out the noise, drowning out the noise, and focusing on facts, results. Unfortunately, we live in a time of plenty. In a time of plenty, the devil is at work in a greater way. And what am I saying? We spoke about the technology that is available today. But we see how many persons are misusing that technology to spread hate, lies, propaganda. And they're going to intensify those lies. They're going to intensify the hate speeches. They're going to intensify the attack on this government, on our leaders, on all those who are supporting us then and now. All the time. These very people love Tandai. Suddenly, she is a symbol to be attacked. What's her crime? To make a choice that democracy allows her to make. So my friends, I know I'm going on long already, but I want to tell all of you, I don't have to go back through all the development. And let me say this, one of the signature projects that we have to do here for you in this Polder is the Beeline Canal. Am I not right? The Beeline Canal is linked to your future, your sustainability. And guess what? Today, the expression of interest was open to have this project start long before the end of the year. That is what we're doing. Delivering the future today. Delivering in advance of the problem. So I want to assure you that we are not perfect in any way. There are still challenges. There are still weaknesses. But when you put the challenges and weaknesses on the scale of development, development outweighs the challenges and the weaknesses by far. In every decision, there will be pros and cons. And I'm here to say that we acknowledge that in some areas we have to work harder. That wherever there are weaknesses, we have to fix those weaknesses. That is why in education and health, We are now setting a minimum standard for every single school and health clinic and health facility across the country, so that there must be a minimum standard that people must enjoy regardless of where they live. I have my good friend here, the engineer. Come, 5:30. Take this engineer, for example, and many others. Today, they are working and held at a different level of accountability. When an engineer like him would have implemented 3 projects 10 years ago, that same engineer now have to implement 40, 50 projects in a month. Today at the cabinet, every single ministry, and we have advertised over 10, 15 times. I have said publicly that anybody with an engineering degree who is not working and looking for a job, come now, we'll employ you. We can't get. We are advertising, no application, not true? How much we need over here alone? About 10 over here alone. If we get 10 more, we're buying our come to 25, 30 meeting. Good. So let me say this. The future requires everybody to operate at their optimum. And let me tell the cabinet and the engineers, let me tell these guys something, and girls. We will not be operating at the same speed that we're operating now. Because to achieve the things that we want to achieve in the next 5 years, we'll have to convert 5 years into 10 years. So we will have to work around the clock. We will have to utilize AI and every technology to allow us to work 24/7, because I hope that I can get a 10-year, and this government will get a 10-year term in a 5-year term. And we'll get it. Not by doing unconstitutional things, but by working harder, putting more energy in, and working in the interest of you, your community, and your future. I thank you all, and God bless you.